Oh, what a difference a week makes. A week ago today I was freezing my hands trying to set up a heater in my cistern to thaw out the frozen water line. It was about 30 below. Today it's probably 30 or more above Fahrenheit, and it feels hot. The snow is actually soft. Anytime they can squeeze it into a lump like that and sticks together, you know it's pretty mild. Anyway, what I'm doing here, I don't know if I think we're gonna need a little bit of auxiliary lighting in spite of the bright sunshine. I may have mentioned I had a fuel leak problem on the Super 90, so I haven't been using it since that started up. It's going to be a little hard to see. Typical front-end loader tractor, awkward as can be. But it's this little inspection plate on the CAV pump. They have a little cork gasket in there, and apparently this one has, now it's going to be really hard to see. This one has pushed out, and the last time I ran it, it was spraying fuel out of there, and it's still running fine, but obviously you don't want to run them too long like that. So in the meantime, with a little help, I have acquired a nice new, let's not break it now, a cork gasket, which hopefully I can assemble here without creating any further damage. I guess my job at the moment is to clean up the area, because I've been informed that after this job is done I'm going to have to bleed the pump at this screw, I believe. I'll have to check my I&T manual to be sure. Hopefully that'll be all. I seem to remember one of the few times I did have to bleed this system, I had quite a time getting the air out of the injectors, but obviously it can be done. Anyway, let's get on with this cleanup here. I think I must have got a little diesel fuel on the trouble light bulb the way it's smoking. Well, rather than watch me spend 10 minutes with a toothbrush and a bit of gas, I'm going to shut you down. Got our nice new cork gasket here, thanks to Wilkinson Diesel Services Limited in Regina, Saskatchewan. Need any diesel servicing done? I guess they're the guys to call. Anyway, let's get this thing together. There we go. New gasket installed on the plate. Everything looks good. I really suspect that old one might still have been okay. It was just possibly the cold conditions that caused it to leak. Maybe if I started it up now when it's warmer, it would have been okay, but whatever. We got a new one here to put on, so okay. Plate and new gasket in place. Now I have to turn the fuel back on. That's going to be a laborious process because there's a few little obstacles in here. Although it'll be a lot easier than it was turning it off. I did that under 20 below Fahrenheit, and I think I used a pair of needle nose pliers, and I think I'm going to need them again. I don't know if this will show good or not, but you can see the old gasket there's a line there. I think that was where it met up against the pump body. And you can see there's very little contact area where the gasket was actually contacting the body. And you'll notice this side is kind of bulged out a little, whereas this is supposed to be straight like this side. So I'm thinking these little bolts were a bit loose, and they were. And the pressure from possibly the cold, stiff fuel allowed the gasket to push out far enough so fuel was actually spraying out in operation. So it's possible I could have just loosened these bolts some more, squeezed the old gasket back in place, and got by, but I don't know. It's a little deformed. Be pretty hard to hold the correct shape. So anyway, we got a new one in place, and should be good to go. We'll see how the bleeding goes. Well, that's about 6.5 minutes, so that's enough to pack into one little video, I guess. I didn't get to finish the job to bleed the system or try starting the tractor, so as of today, it's still a work in progress, but hopefully we'll be rolling again, and we'll be back with more exciting video from Reach D6.